Languages form in unexpected and rather strange ways. For example, if you take today's Jamaican Creole, it started with how the Spaniards decided to take control of the then Jamaican territory, where the original people who lived there were considered the Arawak people. The Spaniards and the Arawak people, well, the Spaniards essentially enslaved the Arawak people, and the Arawak people were forced to find some way to communicate with the Spaniards. How they did that, we don't really know, as there is no concrete evidence on how this was conducted. But however they decided to figure that out, that was essentially ruined when the English came and took control of that territory from the Spaniards. So then we have a people who speak some sort of their own language mixed with some sort of Spanish, and now they have to learn English. And how do they do that? They create something called a pidgin. According to this dictionary, a pidgin is a language that has developed from a mixture of two languages. It is used as a way of communicating by people who do not speak each other's languages. And that is exactly what the people had to create for themselves, because otherwise they couldn't communicate. Then they created their own pidgin, the mixture of their languages. And after a pidgin is passed down for generations upon generations, maybe they gain some sort of system for grammar, maybe they gain some rules in their language, some more fluent and varied vocabulary, and then you are left with a Creole, which is a mixture of those multiple languages into one new language. But what I am going to focus on today is how a pidgin language managed to create itself in my own house. So, as you might have been able to guess, this is going to involve Thailand and Norwegian and English. So let me just put the dictionary down there because it's heavy. And this flag that I received in Thailand. And another thing we received in Thailand was a new family member, because my brother then found a really lovely girl that he connected with. And now they are married and even have a kid together. So actually we kind of gained two members of that family. And other than the newfound family members, this cool flag, we also got a new language. You see, my brother and the woman he fell in love with, they didn't speak English at a level where they both could completely 100% communicate and understand each other. Therefore, they picked the words that they recognized and they kind of just went with it. Neither of them had a full grasp of the English grammar. My Norwegian brother didn't know Thai, and his now wife from Thailand didn't speak Norwegian, but they could both speak some English, and from that they were able to communicate. So then they picked the well-known English words. For example, they could have general conversations with regarding, for example, food, travel, whatever, and they were able to get to know each other and they could learn from each other. And then when they eventually came back here in Norway, we had this weird dynamic of languages where we could speak some English, we Norwegians could speak Norwegian, and her from Thailand could speak Thai, but neither of us could speak the other's mother tongue. However, we had the powerful lingua franca English on our side. So because we knew a fair bit of English, we were able to communicate, and we could translate our own mother tongues into this new weird pidgin of 3 languages. So to give some examples, here in Norway, after we are done eating dinner, we say takk for mat, which means thank you for the food, and then the one who made the food says vær så god, which means you're welcome. And eventually the woman from Thailand, she started saying this as well. So when we were done eating, she would say takk for mat, or if she were the one who made it, she would respond with you're welcome. So she was starting to pick up some Norwegian words. For example, when one of us came home, she might say velkommen hjem, as in welcome home, and some of us might say takk, as in thank you, and we were starting to integrate more Norwegian words into this weird pidgin of ours. And then some Thai words came into the mix, because she couldn't really encapsulate her feelings in English when, for example, I who have a really bad sleep schedule, whereas I wake up 4 p.m. in the day sometimes, she would, for example, come down and tell me it's dinner and I had to wake up. But I didn't. Sometimes I don't respond because I'm really tired. But then she said it in Thai, which is leo leo, which is quick. And then when she said leo 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 leo, you kind of, when you say it at a certain volume, you kind of start to wake up. And then she explained to me leo leo means quick or hurry up. And then it's okay, so now I understand what you mean when you say that. And now we have this Thai phrase in our weird pidgin. So now we have some Norwegian words, some Thai words, and the English we have. However, the English isn't really perfect either. Well, not perfect in the sense of what one would consider standardized American English or standardized British English, for example. Just to name some examples of how we speak to each other in English. For example, if we ask, whose food is that? She wouldn't say, that's her food. She'd say, that's she food, if she's referring to my mother, for example. I ask, is that my mother's glass of water? She say, yes, that's she glass of water. So we don't really have the standard way of saying the gender-specific pronouns. So our grammar is a bit different. And also the English words themselves are different in this weird household pidgin. And in Thailand, where this woman is from, they don't really have bathtubs because they have this entire ocean at their doorstep. So why would you have a bathtub in your house? Therefore, they don't have the word bathe, they have swim, because you don't bathe in the ocean, you swim in the ocean. But in Norway, we might have oceans, but they are not warm. We have cold oceans, and not all of us have a ocean at our doorstep. So she is used to saying she swim. But what if my mother was bathing in the bathtub? Well, she's still saying, for example, if I ask, where is mom? She says, she swim. And the first time she said this, it's just, what do you mean that she's swimming? Because we don't have a swimming pool or anything like that in our house or backyard, so why would you say that? And then I ask, wait, what do you mean, swim? And then she points to the bathroom and she goes, oh yeah, Mom, she swim. And then, oh, you mean she's bathing? And then she looks at me like, what do you mean bathing? What's that? And then it's just, you kind of have to explain. This is a bathtub, and in a bathtub you bathe. But she didn't really, either she didn't want to change the way she was talking, or she just thinks saying she's swimming sounds better, which swim is a lot easier to say than bathe for especially someone from Norway or Thailand. So now we stick with she swim. So we have Norwegian words, we have Thai words, we have English words used in different ways, as in instance with bathe and swim. On top of that, our grammar is different, where if you look at the way we say she instead of her. And even I, as someone, I do understand the grammatical difference and which is technically correct, but why would I decide to say, for example, that's her glass, when it's much easier for everyone else to understand if I say that's she glass? And then something eventually clicks in my head where I understand, okay, in this house, we don't speak the English that I'm used to. We have a different sort of language for that. We have Norwegian words, we have Thai words, we have English words used differently, and our grammar is different. And we have all kind of collectively decided on, okay, we are going to talk differently in this house. So we have essentially created a pidgin in our own house, where it's not technically correct if you think of it in a perspective from American Standardized English, for example. But it's correct for us, whereas we understand it and we accept it, and it's easier for us to say it that way. So, yeah, we have created our own language in our house. Maybe it won't stick around for multiple generations to develop into a Creole and maybe its own recognized language, but at least for now, it's something fun that we have. It's something that's personal and we have created ourselves. It's a sort of linguistical sharing of culture and language, where in our pidgin we have culture from Thailand, we have vocabulary from Norway, we have different grammar from all over the place, but we understand it and we accept it, and therefore it's easier for us to speak that way. So that is how our own pidgin language is. Thank you for watching and listening.